Yeah. Why is it always in the movies I choose to go alone are the ones that really piss me off? I need a moment. Okay, so I saw DreamWorks animated Home. It sucks. It really sucks. Oh my god, where do I even begin with this? Okay, I guess I should start by saying that I'm actually a supporter of DreamWorks animated movies. I think a lot of the stuff they've made has actually been not only really, like, as far exceeded my expectations, they've surprised me time and time again. Like, Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2 are great movies, How to Train Your Dragon 1 or 2 are great movies, hell, Shrek 1 and 2 are great movies. Hell, even Madagascar 1 and 2 are not bad. This one makes me mad because this is by far, like, the laziest effort I've seen them do so far. And I threw Shrek 3. And this is such a half-assed hour-and-a-half promotion for a Rihanna album. This is garbage. This is fucking bullshit. Oh, God, I'm tired. It's Easter. This is what I've spent it doing, seeing this fucking piece of shit. Okay. So, there is so much in this movie that makes no goddamn sense. And granted, I get it, it's a kid's movie. I shouldn't be that nitpicky on it, but at the same time, if you're not making a good movie, I'm gonna notice your problems a lot more. And so, yeah, I'm gonna nitpick the shit out of this. I don't care. Fuck it. I hated this movie. This is only helped by the fact that I saw Do You Believe a couple days ago, but I guess I wasn't expecting this to be that bad, so I'm more angry about it than I was with Do You Believe, because I knew that one was gonna suck going into it. I was at least hoping to be mildly surprised, maybe have one or two good moments in there. I think I only laughed like twice in this movie, and one of them was because of something one of the kids said in my audience, but I'll get to that. So this is like, I don't know if this is original plan, but this is like the continuation of like the short, the Gone Home short they did when they released, I think, How to Train Your Dragon 2 last year. When they released that short with Steve Martin, I would imagine it's probably there. Probably was intentional to make a movie out of it. I don't know. Either way, here it is, like the continuation of that stupid short. And right off the bat, a lot of things don't make any sense. Like, for example, for some reason, all the aliens speak broken English, and I don't get why. It's never explained. They just do it, which is really weird, considering in the short, they all speak perfect English. Here they're saying, like, instead of, I've made mistakes, they go, I has made some mistakes, and shit like that, and that goes on through the whole movie. And it's so irritating, and it is so, God, I hate this movie. And on top of that, the movie starts out with the fucking cheeriest alien invasion scene I have ever seen in a movie. That I can't tell if it was doing it ironically or just really bad writing. Because what this movie is about is these aliens call the boob. They're called the boos, or I thought I heard them call them boobs once or twice, so I don't know, but anyway, these boos have been running away from their main enemy, the Gorks, who've been chasing them across the galaxy, and they think they found a safe place to live on Earth. So they go to Earth, and they decide, okay, all these human people, they're really stupid. They're too primitive for the rest of us for us. So we're gonna put them all in Australia, which, let's address that right off the bat, how apparently we think Australia is big enough to hold all of humanity. Right off the bat, there's one huge problem. Never addressed, by the way. All like something is never addressed, never mentioned, because this. What makes the other DreamWorks movies really good is the fact that A, they make sense with, like, the majority of what happens makes sense in the world that is established, and B, it's not condescending. It's not pandering to, it's not pandering to kids or adults. Either can watch it fine. This one is so clearly pandering to kids, and it's like, there is nothing here for adults. I mean, granted, if you have kids and you want to shut them up for an hour and a half, this movie, it's fine, it's harmless, but at the same time, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh, God, this makes no fucking sense. And it is so dumb and redundant and just stupid. There's actually kind of an ironic line halfway through, like, towards the end of this movie. And, I'll get to it, because it was one of the few lines that actually made me chuckle. But, one of the only lines, actually. I think there's only, like, 2 lines total that got a chuckle out of me. But, anyway, after they've cheerfully, and I do mean cheerfully, there's like happy-go-lucky music playing in the background as millions of people are abducted and placed into what they call like a happy town or human town or something like that, which is in Australia, which, whatever. God, that makes no sense on so many fucking levels, but and they're led by their lead boo, whose name I forget, played by Steve Martin, and I don't know how much Steve Martin tried to improvise or how much was just a script to... Oh, am I out of focus? No, we're okay. Okay, sorry. I'm tired. But my God, his performance is awful. Like, a lot of the performances in movies are fucking awful, which, again, is very disappointing, because even in DreamWorks' worst movies, the voice acting is usually pretty solid. I mean, even Shrek 3 had decent voice acting, but here we have Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory playing O, who is so clearly designed to make toys out of. It's ridiculous how much this is clearly made, how these characters are clearly designed just to sell toys. Much more so than other DreamWorks movies. Who, I guess, again, another thing that's not addressed is that he's different from he's basically playing Sheldon Cooper, except as an alien and with broken English for some reason. That's it. That's the character in a nutshell. He's just playing he's clearly autistic, but we're never going to address it kind of character. And it's really fucking annoying. I mean, I'm kind of in the minority, apparently, that thinks Big Bang Theory is a fucking god-awful show, and Sheldon Cooper is a poorly written character. It's such a horrendously poorly written character. I have nothing against the actor personally. I'm sure he can do good things. I just haven't seen him do it yet, because he's been typecast as this kind of character since Big Bang Theory. I mean, this is clearly, like, even then, like, this movie is so clear. It's like, okay, we need a main character. What can we do? Why don't we take that guy from Big Bang Theory and put him in space? Okay, cool. We're gonna write, like, an original character that the voice actor can really try something new or different or really flex his acting. No. We're just gonna take everything that was Sheldon Cooper on that show and put him in space. That's it. That's the character. There is, like, he's not as condescending as the Big Bang Theory character, but it's basically the same thing. I'm gonna get all kinds of rage comments. No, he's not. He's very. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm fucking mad. And then the worst offender. Okay, let me explain this story a bit more. So, O is the outcast. Nobody likes him. He feels different. He's clearly autistic in some way. And through a series of unfortunate events. And this, again, comes to, this makes no goddamn sense, is, he's trying to get people to come to his housewarming party, or no, party of warming, or something like that, I don't know, it's stupid. So many of the jokes involve just them saying things wrong. That's where majority of the jokes come from. And literally one of the highlights of the humor in this movie is a fucking knock-knock joke. Let that sink in. A fucking knock-knock joke is one of the funnier jokes in the fucking movie. But where was I? Yeah, so he tries to send out a Evite to his best friend Kyle, played by Badger from Breaking Bad, which, okay, nice to see him getting work. But, But he actually sends it to everyone in the Milky Way, including the Gorks, who receive their emails for some reason. Do I need to explain that? Why would you have a device that you can accidentally send a message to your widely publicized enemy? That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. And I know it's a kid's movie. You should just go with it. But this thing is so poorly written, even as a kid's movie, that I'm gonna call it out on this shit. I don't care. So now everyone's panicking, and they label O as a fugitive and a traitor and blah 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 blah. So O has to run away to where he wants to go to Antarctica, because that's the only place where there are no booze. But along the way, he runs into another girl named Tip, played by Rihanna. Because that transition from musician to actor always works out so flawlessly in these movies. Like, I can only... her performance in this movie is so fucking bad. It is so god-awful. It is... Oh, by the way, if you can't figure out that it's Rihanna playing this part, trust me, the movie will remind you by playing, like, 500 million Rihanna songs throughout this entire soundtrack. And that's the fucking problem with this movie, is the fact that it feels like it's an hour-and-a-half advertisement for toys and Rihanna. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like a real movie. There is no drama. There's no tension. There's no build-up. Shit just happens, and then the movie ends. Like, the pacing is so all over the place. There's no proper character development, and I wouldn't be so mad about it if this is from, like, any other, like, animation studio, but we saw How to Train Your Dragon 2 last year, and that was a great movie that had great characters and great storytelling and great animation. And then we go from that, but this is like the Cars 2 of DreamWorks Animation. And this is just so atrocious and painful to watch. There's so much here that is just painful. Ugh. And I don't hate Rihanna. I'm not a fan of her either, but dear God, it feels like so much of this movie was like, okay, here's a bunch of Rihanna songs. How can we put our action scenes around these tracks? Like, they don't mesh at all. That's the problem. Like, there's some action scenes when the Gork inevitably finds Earth, because you know it's gonna happen, and it starts playing dubstep as, like, they're doing the chase away. Like, that. A lot of the music in this movie feels so dramatically out of place. It feels so shoehorned in. It feels forced. A lot of the movie just feels so fucking forced. And there are so many things that are not addressed. Like all of humanity is abducted and put into Australia, and everyone's okay with it. Like, we never see anyone ever, like, attempt to rise up or do anything like that, which, honest to God, it would have made a much better story. The way Tip avoids being abducted is because there's a cat she named Pig, whatever, but that was, like, laying on top of her head, so, like, the machines they were using detected a cat instead of a human, so they left her alone. There's so much in this movie that doesn't make any sense. God, this is just so lazy, and it's so disappointing, because I was at least hoping to have one or good scenes I can cling to. Like, even, like, in some of the worst movies, there's at least been, like, one scene I was like, okay, that was a good scene. But here, there's fucking nothing. There's nothing here to cling to, because Rihanna is such a bad voice actress. And, like, the only reason she's in this movie is so they can get her songs in the movie. That's the only reason she's here. It's not because of her acting. It's not because of her delivery. It's not because of her chemistry with the, I don't know the actor's name, Sheldon Cooper. It's not because of any of that, just because we want Rihanna songs so we can make more money out of this movie, because DreamWorks is suffering. And that's where I'm, like, really mixed on this movie, is the fact that, on one hand, I'm really disappointed that of all DreamWorks movies to become a success at the box office, this is the one that had to be it. They're easily the worst movie they've ever made. And meanwhile, movies like How I Train Your Dragon 2 barely make enough to warrant a sequel, which I'm glad they are making that, but I'm worried, like, again, this is with Cars 2, they're just gonna sell out, they're gonna just shit out crappy movie after crappy movie, and instead try and make, like, legitimately good, heartwarming material like How to Train Your Dragon or Kung Fu Panda. DreamWorks made a movie called Kung Fu Panda into something really fucking good. Something fantastic. They can do great things with stupid as hell concepts. So it's like, they have no excuse to shit out this redundant, pointless alien movie that would... Okay. So back to things that are not addressed in this movie. So, through a series of wacky antics, Tip teams up with O because she's trying to find her mom and O is trying to run away, so they decide to help each other out, and bunch of wacky antics happen. Tip, by the way, who's only concerned with finding her mom and not the fact that, you know, they kidnapped all of humanity and took over Earth. With God knows how many people have probably died. But there were two jokes that made me laugh in this movie. Let me go over that. Because, like, really, once you get to the point when they team up, you know exactly, beat for beat, how the movie's going to go, more or less. I take that back. Not even really then, because, like, the pacing and the build-up is so random and so erratic that you can't... It's a jumbled mess. So, naturally, while they're on the run and doing their road trip bonding, blah, 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 the only jokes that made me laugh is, they meet up, like, they first meet at basically a 7-Eleven, more, they don't call it that, but, you know, that's what it is. And, Tip, who, for some reason, at what I can only assume is 14, knows how to drive a car. Accidentally crashes it while panicking, trying to drive away from the booze, and runs into Sheldon Cooper, who spruces up her car to be a flying car now, and sorry, I lost track of thought there, and oh yeah. So the car is now fit out with, like, all kinds of weird little shit from the 7-Eleven, and they're flying through the air, and what, like, the only joke that got a chuckle out of me was the fact that, just killed time, O keeps pressing, the lotto machine ticket, so he keeps getting a lotto ticket, scratches it out, goes, aw, tosses it back, it's another ticket, aw, okay, it's like, okay, that was kind of a funny joke. The only other one that made me chuckle, until I got mad because I realized how ironic it was, is that towards the end of the movie, through another series of wacky antics, crash, like, causes a Gork drone to crash, and he goes to investigate it, and he finds what they call a super chip. And Rihanna's character, Tip, goes, why do they call it a super chip? And he goes, mostly for marketing. Which was like, that was actually kind of a funny joke. Until I thought about it and realized, that's this whole fucking movie! This whole fucking movie is one gigantic fucking advertisement for aha! I'm still mad. Nah! It's like, there's really... You know pretty much how it ends. Okay, I take it back. There's one gigantic thing towards the end that I kind of have to talk about because it pissed me off and they left it completely unaddressed. Is the fact while chasing the Gork, while chasing the booze, the Gork have destroyed several planets up to this point. And it turns out the whole reason the Gork wants to find him in the first place is because the Steve Martin boo stole, like, a rock that apparently contains, like, microscopic organisms that fuel the whole next generation. Okay, fine. That's understandable. I'd want to kill some bitches too if somebody did that. So, but here's the problem. Is towards the end of the movie, these big fearsome gork and that big spooky design, turns out it's all just a come to Earth. They start fucking shit up until they notice that O has the rock, and he's realized that that's what they came for. So he starts waving down to give him to him, but so the Gorg try to stop the machine, but they can't stop it in time, and they do the fake out, oh my god, they killed the main character, but we know for a fact they didn't kill him, so why are we wasting our time with this cliche? And while Tip starts crying, the only part that I legitimately laughed was the part when they did the fake death of O, this little girl towards the front of the theater just yells out, "See, I told you he'd die!" So that made me laugh. I needed something to laugh at, goddammit, in that movie. So that was funny. But of course he didn't die, and it turns out the big Gork was actually just a battle suit for a little starfish alien who takes the egg and then flies off. All is happy, and we're all good, yay. And of course, up to this point, everyone's realized O's worth and how he was right all along, and why it was wrong for us to be mean to him, blah, 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 blah. You've seen this story a million times before. So, that all happens. And then they start playing the Gork up as oh no, they weren't mean, they were just misunderstood. Oh, they took their eggs, and it was only, I guess he was an extinct species, so there was only one. But no, we're okay now. He just got a little temperamental because, he stole his whole next generation. Oh, fair enough. He still destroyed fucking planets. God knows how many fucking planets. He blew it up, the bastard. Damn you. Damn you all to hell. Anyway, and that's, again, just comes down to another thing that's never addressed. There are no consequences in this movie for anything that really happens. As they point out, O fucks up a lot in his society. And they try to punish him, but no, we're just gonna let it slide. Now, granted, you kind of saved their civilization, so I guess we'll let that one go. But the humans apparently are totally okay with just letting the boos stay on Earth, even though God knows they cause population issues and, kidnapped all of them, forced them to live in Australia of all places. I have nothing against Australia, it's a very nice place, but dear God, everything in that country wants to kill you. So much movie this movie was pointless. This was dumb. This was such a huge disappointment. I don't know what else to fucking say about it. I mean, I've already kind of ranted and raved. I'm honestly more mad at this than I was at Do You Believe. That's because I knew Do You Believe was gonna be terrible, so at least I had that going for me. My expectations were already so low. For this one, I was hoping to at least be pleasantly surprised. And man, was that dashed. This is the worst kids movie I've seen in a long time. I mean, granted, right now, the market for kids movies is pretty dry, but fucking A, Planes 2 was better than this. Yes, I said it, Planes 2 was better. So, fuck. If you have kids, if you're really desperate to shut them up for a while, yeah, okay, this movie will do. But, oh God, I really hope this isn't gonna be where Pixar was after Cars 2 came out, where everything else after this is gonna fucking suck. I'm not saying everything DreamWorks Pictures has made up to this point has been the shining pinnacle of cinema excellence, but it's fucking better than this. And there was more effort, even the laziest effort, like Shrek 3 and 4. There was more effort put into those than there was this. This was clearly just... This is a walking advertisement. And it's really disappointing. Rihanna, this movie just would have been so much better if they made their own soundtrack rather than oh, you know, we could just save ourselves the majority of the time and budget if we just hire, like, if we talk Rihanna into doing a lot of the songs, if we just give her a lead voice. Because she can't act for shit. I mean, I can't think of many people who have made that transition from musician to actor successfully. Justin Timberlake's like the only one I can think of off the top of my head, and even he, really, the only good movie he was in was The Social Network. Because who fucking remembers In Time? I mean, not that he's a bad actor, but he has big bad movies, but that's a rare fucking case. That's a rare case that works out well. I mean, look at Britney Spears. Britney Spears cannot act her way up her bag. See, this is why musicians stay in music and actors stay in acting. Majority of the time, the two don't mesh very well. And that goes both ways, too, because you want actors who can't play musicians? Look at Russell Crowe. So... oh, yeah, I'm Javert! Just belt out every line. I don't know what they were thinking on that one. I don't want to go back. I don't want to think about that Javert, though. That was a terrible Javert. So, yeah, I think that's about all I gotta say about Home. So, let me just go to trailers, then. First up, I got a couple of these I've gotten before. In fact, I think the only one new one I've gotten is Disney's Nature's Monkey Kingdom, which, yeah, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into with that. I don't, like, this is something weird they did with Disney Nature's Bears, too, where it's like they tried to add, like, it's supposed to be a documentary, but they're trying to add, like, a narrative to it. I mean, not a narration, obviously, that's what all documentaries do, more or less, but this one, like, they're trying to add a specific Disney-esque story to it, and they go, why can't we just have a documentary about monkeys? I mean, why do we need to have, look at a story about a monkey named Kim and his equally wacky, I'm doing the South Park trailer voice, that's because the voice they did for this, and your curious little sibling named, I don't know, or Kia or something like that, but they're gonna discover, but through a series of wacky instances, they have to learn to live in the big city. I'm not making this up, by the way. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but that's the plot of the movie. And they're gonna learn how to work together and learn that the most important thing is family. Disney's Nature's Monkey Kingdom. I don't know. I mean, I like Disney Nature's Bears fine, so maybe this won't be that bad, but the trailer did not make it look very good either. I mean, like, it's nature. Let it be nature. Don't try to force a narrative in there that doesn't exist. And then I got Inside Out again, which, as I've said before, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, so I'm hoping that's good. Like, it's Pixar doing a new idea again, which is nice to see them do. I mean, like, it's not, I like that they're not doing a fucking sequel. This isn't Cars 3. This isn't Monster University 2. I don't know. Could you make a sequel to that? Probably not. Let's not doubt them, though. I don't want to see that happen. But, by the way, let's go back to Monster University for a second. It's like, why couldn't you just make a sequel where Boo was grown up? Anyway, I'm not the first person, I'm not the last person to point that out. So, yeah, I'm hoping that's a return to form for Pixar. I really want them to come back. It was something really good. I'm really hoping this is it. Because it looks like it's gonna go for the tearjerker method, which, you know, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Right now it looks like it can kind of go either way, but it's Pixar, so I'm fingers crossed. So, then I got Minions, which I'm so fucking sick of the Minions. I never liked them. I was never on board with them. They're just a cheap marketing employee. At this point, they're not even pretending that's not what they are. Which I guess is fine, you know, just embrace it at this point. But at the same time, it's like, do they really need their own movie? Does this really deserve a prequel? Probably not. But we're gonna do it because the Minions make money and Gru doesn't. So yeah, they're gonna. To give a serious credit, the Despicable Me series has been funny and entertaining when they just go full balls out to the wall over the top. And like the villain of the second one was really funny because of that. So I'm hoping They even have a character called Overkill, like Mistress Overkill or something like that. So, played by Sandra Bullock. We'll see what happens. I'm not looking forward to it, but it could surprise me. Who knows? And then we got trailer for Tomorrowland. Again, I've talked about this one before, so I'm not going to get too much into it, but I really like... I have no idea what this movie's about. Something about a city in the future that they can visit for some reason, and everything looks like it comes from, like, BioShock. But it's Brad Bird directing, which is why, hell or high water, I'm going to go see it, and I'm going to probably like the hell out of it, because just judging from the trailer, it looks like there's a lot of imagination and a lot of great visuals and some great creativity, which is nice. It's been a while since I've seen a good one of that, so I'm hopeful for that. So yeah, Home, don't go see it. This was disappointing on so many levels, and I don't know. They got Kung Fu Panda 3 and How to Train Your Dragon 3 coming out not too long, I hope. So hopefully those will be good. That'll be a nice return to form. So yeah, that's it for today. Happy Easter, guys. At this point, we probably won't do Get Hard for the same reason we didn't do Annie that came out last year. It's the fact that I'm so burnt out on bad movies that I need to see a good one. So we're going to see Furious 7, which, dear God, no matter how stupid that movie is, it's going to look genius compared to this film. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next week. Ugh.